Hey everybody, Bowlero here. So I thought I'd do a video on how to fix a ding, a chip on your bowling ball here. So this happened today. Unfortunately, I went bowling out at Bowlero. So if you guys know anything about Bowlero, you know what I'm talking about. This kind of crap happens. So it must have been something in ball return or some kind of nail or hook hanging out or something to chip that. So this would be my first time repairing something like this. I think it's going to be pretty easy. I think all I'm going to have to do is just drill that out. And now that I've got the plug and the compound and hardener for the plug material, I'm just going to fill it in. And I do have, this may be, I don't really see too much of a glitter. It kind of looks like a pearl ball, but I could probably get away with using a pearlizer because it is a shiny ball. But this is a plastic urethane ball. This is why they call it the mix. So we're going to fix this because I've got a tournament to do the end of this month out in Reno, and I don't want that on my ball. I don't like chips on my ball. So we're gonna see about fixing this. All right, so I've got the smallest bit I have, which is a 31/32 on here. The size of the chip isn't that big. The 31/32 will cover the whole size of that. So I've got the drill bit, the table all tightened down. I got it on 0, 0. I'm just gonna make a small hole in there. And then we're gonna fill that in. So it's a pretty simple, just drilling it down. I'm going to go down a little bit farther. I got about 1 inch down there right now. I think I'll do a little bit more. All right, so I've got about, that's about 1.5 inches depth. So I'm hoping that should be a pretty easy fix. So I just drilled the hole 31/32, leave the sharp edges on there, and I went about 1.5 inches. Let's see how let's do an exact measurement and see how deep I got that. Yeah, about 1.5 inches deep. And I didn't want to do too shallow because I think when you do the hardener, you have to have a little bit of depth for the hardener to work. So I've cleaned the hole out, a little bit of alcohol and paper towel. And these are where these small circular dams are going to come into play. Like if you buy this box right here with 25, you're going to get all sorts of different sizes. I wouldn't toss these small ones because they will come in handy for something like this when you do have repairs or whatnot. Let's see if I can get away with using one of these here. Yeah, see that? Perfect. Let's see what we got here. All right, so we got kind of two different colors here. We've got like a magenta and it looks like a black. So I could do it simple and I could just do black, but I'm gonna challenge myself and do a little bit of this color and then maybe a little bit of the black. So we'll see. It may be overkill. All right, so what I did is I have 3 cups here and I'm gonna do, these are both compound. So these are about 1 ounce of compound in each cup. And then I've got 1 ounce of hardener in here in this one. So 2-to-1 ratio. That's all I need. So I got 2 ounces to 1 ounce right here. And I'm going to start mixing the colors. I have my color wheel handy. So I'm going to try to kind of play around with the colors here. And I also have a pearlizer that I got from Motive. Actually ordered it from Buddies, but Motive makes it. So these are the pearlizers here. It's a silver pearl epoxy. and a gold. So when you're doing pearls, you can actually put a little bit of glitter and shine on into your plugs. These are not cheap. From Buddy's. Buddy's usually the best deal anywhere. These were 20, I think 25 bucks a piece, or 23 or 24 around there. So it's a little pricey, but I figure these are going to last a long time. I don't know how many pearls I'm going to be plugging. These will probably last for years, I'm sure. But they also come with little spouts, and there's actually ball bearings in these too. So if you shake them up, you can hear the ball bearing in there. It's the only one. All these other colors don't have ball bearings. You can hear that. Yeah, I don't think these have ball bearings, so probably to mix up the glitter in there. So I'm gonna mix some colors around and see what colors I can get to match this using the color wheel here. And then each one of these, like I said, is gonna be for each different color, the magenta and the black. So one thing that I've heard that you need to do to kind of get rid of bubbles is leave this stuff out, leave this stuff out in the sun to get rid of the bubbles. So, or just let it sit for a long time. So I'm in my garage. It's about 80 degrees, 78 degrees in here. It's a little warm, but I'm going to let this sit for a little while. I've got the hardener out in the sun because it had a few bubbles in it. And if you use these pumps, a lot of people, from what I hear, don't use these pumps because it can create bubbles. So I don't feel like making a mess. That's why I use these. All right, so I don't want to bore you to tears with how I create colors. But what I did is I put 1 drop of the silver pearl, or sorry, 2 drops of the silver pearl in here. And then I put a red in there, shake it up really well. And now I'm going to put a blue because I want like a purplish kind of color. And according to the color wheel, that's what I got to do. I'll shake these up real good. And they are pretty full, being brand new as well, too. 1 drop of that. Okay. And I want to show you just how quickly this changes color. So we have red right here. Boom. It almost turned it black. So I might have messed it up. It's like a dark purplish. If you can see that. So I'm going to keep mixing, and then we're going to try to match these 2 colors here. All right, through some trial and error, I've got what I think is pretty darn close to the color that I need for this, the pink. And then I've got the purple here, which looks black. It's going to look black on camera, but if I do this, you can kind of see that it's purple here. And I let these sit out in the sun for about 5 minutes. This is the hardener. Let that sit out in the sun too to get rid of the bubbles. And we're just going to mix these 2, and then I'll pour them in. So I kind of had to play around with the colors. I did white, I did red, pink, blue, and more of the pearlizer in there to kind of get it a shiny look to it. So it's not going to look exactly like that, but hopefully you won't be able to tell. Okay, so I just poured the hardener in both of these, and we're just going to slowly mix it. So I'm going to pour the black in, or sorry, the purple. And I'm just stirring it slow with the plastic sticks just to prevent any kind of bubbles. And I don't see any. Okay, I got the pink one. It takes a little while for it to harden, so you don't have to be super rushed. All right, so now this is going to be the tricky part, is pouring it in here. And then getting that one in there too. We want to tilt the ball a little bit so that it doesn't go directly in the bottom. I'll let it pour on the side here. Oh, that's a good looking purple there. All right, so fill it up a little bit, and then we're gonna do the pink here as well. And this stuff is a pain in the ass. I probably should be wearing gloves, but it's a pain in the ass to get off your fingers, the paint part. Now I'm gonna go with a little bit of pink here. Hopefully this will work. And we just pour it in there. Okay, that should be it. I got some on the ball. I'm gonna leave it at that. Probably gonna look like crap, but oh well. Can't pour anything more in there because it's going to overflow. So that's gonna be it. And then the next step is we'll let this harden overnight, and then we're gonna come back and cut this plug down and then finish it up and then say goodbye to the chip. All right, so there it is, still waiting to dry. That's the final color. Hopefully you guys can see that. I think it came out pretty good. I really don't think you're gonna be able to tell, but pretty good color match. Hopefully I got a little bit of pink underneath that. We will see. All right, so it's morning time the following day, and we have, if you can hear that, we have a hardened up plug. So it's fully hardened, ready to be cut down. And the colors look, I think they came out pretty good. The only true test is to see once I cut it down what I get. So we're gonna do that right now. We're gonna cut it down and see exactly what I have underneath this. All right, so one thing I'm gonna do here is just get my grease pencil and mark little tiny circles around the perimeter of the plug cutter. This one's very important because it is a spare ball. It is plastic and urethane. So if I go too far and I accidentally gouge this ball, it's going to be a little bit harder to fix than your normal reactive ball. So the thing I did off camera was I've got this completely zeroed out. So when it does come down, it's going to be completely flush. But I still want to be on the safe side and just keep an eye on that and not go down too far. All right, so let's clean this up a little bit and see what we have. The colors right away do not really look all that great, but we won't know until we clean it all up. So it looks like all those colors that I had just kind of blended in, didn't really do anything. It just kind of came out black, so that was kind of a waste. But also a learning experience. So this is what, my third ball I've ever plugged, third or fourth ball. So all I really wanted to do is just patch this up. But yeah, all the colors kind of just combined. I don't see any pink whatsoever. So much for that. And I've got a 4000 pad here, and I'm just going to kind of spray a little bit and we'll see how that works here. All right, so I might have went down a little too far with the plug cutter, kind of gouged the plastic a little bit. And that's the concern that I had with this plastic ball, is gouging it, right? So on a regular reactive, I could fix that. So I'm gonna try my best to polish this out. All right, so I've decided to keep the 4000 pad. I've got it on the spinner right now. And we're gonna see if we can get this kind of gouging a little bit better looking. All right, let's see what that did. I'm gonna sand some more I'll spend maybe about another 5 minutes on this sanding, and we'll see if we can get that a little better. I know it's kind of looking worse. All right, so I spent about another minute on this, and it didn't get any better, so I don't think it's going to get any better. So the next thing we're going to do is just get some polish. I've got some True Cut CTD hand applied polish. I got a pad here, and we're just going to try to polish this as best I can. All right, see what that did. Okay, so that's the best I'm going to get it. Just because if I sand it anymore, it's going to just create a bigger gouge on there, or bigger scratches, I should say. And yeah, it's the only bummer. If you guys have any tips for me as far as, you know, fixing a plastic ball like this, a urethane ball, or the Storm Mix to get it where it's not really scratching the surface, let me know down in the comments, because like I said, this is the very first time I've tried to fix a spare ball, and I know it's a little bit different material than your regular reactive ball or pearl ball. All right, so here's the finished product. Like I said, I couldn't get those scratches out of there. It is smooth, and it's not really that pretty, but got it out of there. The gouge is no longer there, which was the main purpose of it, but I put some polish on it, and that's what we get. So maybe I can improve on the next one, do a little bit better. Hopefully I don't get too many gouges on this ball. If I do, I'll just get a new one. These are pretty cheap. So there it is, folks. If you like the video, make sure to leave a comment down below, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And leave some comments down there if you guys know a better way to fix these. I know, like I said before, the plastic ball is a little bit harder to get scratches out of. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Until next video, see you then.